Hey y'all, Dawn with 7 Acres Homestead here. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about other YouTube homesteading channels that have inspired Tim and I to do this. They've inspired us as far as being a homestead. They have inspired us as far as being a YouTube channel, and I want to share those with you guys today because although we don't have a lot of subscribers yet, I want to share the love. I want to show you guys other channels that just are amazing. Behind me, I'm making chicken broth on the stove back there, and it's going to be simmering for like 48 hours, so it gets to stay there for a little bit. So like I said, today I want to tell you guys about some other YouTube channels that have totally inspired Tim and I. These people are all amazing. They've done amazing videos. They've done amazing things on their homesteads. And I did have a subscriber here not too long ago ask me, what other channels do you guys follow and watch? And I was able to send her a list of those, but I kind of thought I'd share that with all of you guys too, because if you're watching our channel and our homesteading journey, you are either interested in homesteading, or you are a homesteader, or you want to be a homesteader, and hopefully some of these other channels will be amazing for you guys too. So the very first channel that we actually started really watching homesteading on was Living Traditions Homestead. Kevin and Sarah are the ones on that channel, and they are amazing. We have watched them for probably 5 years now, and they kind of did what we did on a different timeline. They lived in the city in Arizona, and they worked corporate jobs, and they really just wanted to get away from the rat race. So they started doing everything they could to pay off debt and get out from under, you know, anything that was just keeping them from becoming the homesteaders that they wanted to be. And eventually they moved to the Appalachian area. I believe they're in Missouri. And, you know, they've just done a fantastic job, and they show great how-to videos. They show you how they build things. They show you what kinds of animals they raise. They have 2 amazing daughters that have now kind of grown up right before our very eyes, and we don't get to see them on the channel very much anymore, not like we used to, but Kevin and Sarah are just totally amazing, and I would definitely recommend subscribing to their channel as well. So the next YouTuber that has really inspired us is Jess from Roots and Refuge Farms. Her and her husband Jeremiah, we've been following them for a while too, and we were watching them when they were on their old homestead, and you know, she had said that, you know, this homestead is not our forever home, and she knew at some point that they were going to be moving to somewhere different. And at one point they did. They bought a different homestead, and they moved, and they kind of started things up all over again, which a couple of different homesteaders on this list have done that. I personally don't want to have to do that. I want to be here on our property until I die. But she is amazing at gardening. I watch so many of her garden videos, and if you get a chance to watch her garden updates, those are just, yeah, I'm amazed at everything that she does. But I love the story, if you get a chance to go in and look it up, about when their chicken coop got repossessed. Because it just goes to show that we're all human and things happen, okay? So definitely take a look at Roots and Refuge Farm. We are a subscriber, and if you guys really love the whole homesteading thing, you're going to absolutely love Jess. She's just precious. So keeping it Dutch. I love this channel. Sean is a very, very likable person. Just everything that he says and does, he just comes off as a down-to-earth, good old boy, and we just absolutely love him. They are ones that also had a homestead on one property, and then they bought an off-grid property, moved out there in their RV, in our last I heard, in the process of building out there. And, they've taken us along for the ride. They've shown us the ups and the downs and the sideways and every other ways you could possibly imagine. And so they are in Oklahoma. And I just absolutely love his channel. He's got two little precious girls on there. They are just amazing little girls, and they get on the videos and they talk and they don't mind, and they tell you to like, share, and subscribe, and they're just absolutely precious. And his wife has her own channel as well, if you get a chance to check that out. So Keeping It Dutch is another one that we absolutely recommend. So Arms Family Homestead. We also have been watching them for a number of years. He was a highway patrolman in Oklahoma, and finally ended up quitting his highway patrol job to do homesteading full-time. And so we've been kind of watching the adventures of him going from being a highway patrol during the day, homesteader at night and on the weekends, to now going to being a full-time homesteader. He's living the dream. That is the dream that all of us homesteaders have, and most of the people on this list, they are full-time homesteaders, and that is definitely the dream that we all have. We don't want to have to work an outside job. We don't want to have outside income coming in. We want to be able to live off the land and make the homestead our entire life's work. Another one that we really enjoy watching is the Styers family homestead. They themselves have been through a lot. We have also seen them move from one property to another. And the property they're on now, they're dealing with a lawsuit over some silly things that just has put a lot of stress on their life and their family, and they're really just trying to do what all of us really want to do on our homestead, and that's just live, just be able to get out there and do things. And Jen is really good with things like making soaps and lotions and growing herbs and all that kind of stuff, which is a lot of the stuff that I enjoy watching and things that I want to learn more about. And so these guys are also another group of homesteaders that have just totally inspired us to just keep on trekking no matter what comes along. So Sow the Land with Jason and Lorraine. That is another homestead channel that has, since we've been watching it, moved from a small plot of land. I don't remember how many acres they had at first, but it wasn't a whole lot. I believe they were on 4 acres, if I remember correctly. And then they moved into a bigger homestead, which I'm thinking was probably 20 acres or more once they moved. And they took us along with the move and showed us all the things they had to do in order to move, which basically told us we never wanted to move our homestead. But they did it, and they made it, and they're doing great. And so Jason and Lorraine are two of the other people who have inspired us to be better homesteaders and also do a YouTube channel about it as well. So Cogill Farms is another one of my all-time favorites. Jason, and as he likes to call her, Mrs. Cogill, we truly enjoy watching their channel. Jason is hilarious. He's got the biggest personality that I think I've ever seen, ever in my life. They have a beautiful little daughter that is just a chicken expert and just does all kinds of things and has her own YouTube channel. And these guys, again, have moved from one property to another with their homestead. And now they just have this great, big, huge, amazing piece of property. They've had a custom-built home done. They have this huge barn that they had put in. And my favorite character on their YouTube channel is Nugget, which is an emu. And Nugget has just been a burst of personality on their channel. You got to go in and just watch it. I can't even explain how much fun it is to watch Nugget on this channel. I know Mrs. Cogill is going through some health issues right now. She's dealing with some autoimmune issues, and I sympathize with her. I myself have lupus, and sometimes it can not be fun, and sometimes it can be hard to get things done when it flares up. And so there's a little piece of my heart that's gone out to her, just knowing that she's dealing with that. I'm praying for her that she's going to get better, and that things are going to do well. So anyway, Cogill Farms is another one that we just absolutely love. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about on here, it's the last but not the least, Cogill Farms. These guys have been through a lot, especially lately. Adler and Ray they're just the most precious little couple. They are just cute as buttons. And they've got a couple of boys, one that's there with them full-time and one that's there with them part-time. And they recently had a house fire and their house burned down. So they are in the process of selling their homestead and buying another homestead. And these guys have just been through a lot. But what I've noticed is they haven't let it get them down, and they haven't let it tear them apart. They have not let it take away their dream of having a homestead. And I'm sorry, y'all. The older I get, the more emotional I get. And it drives my family crazy when I get emotional like this. But they have been through so much. And for them to just say, we're not giving up on this. We're going to be a homestead. We're going to do this. Our family's going to be homesteaders. And just to keep on trucking. It's very inspirational to me, as you can see. Okay, so now that I've pulled myself together, I will say that homesteading is not easy. It's not easy on a person's body. It's not easy on a person's mental health sometimes. It's definitely not easy on a marriage because it's a lot of hard work. And especially when you've got a situation like we're in right now where one person is still having to work full-time in order to support the family, which is much needed and definitely much appreciated that Tim is still doing that. It does make it hard on the person who's not working, believe it or not, because it's a lot of things that gets put on that one particular person. So these YouTube channels that we continue to follow and watch really just are a pick-me-up for us when we're having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or whatever. We can look at these channels and we can say, hey, look, they have had their fair share of struggles, and they are making it through, and they just keep on trucking, and so that's what we're going to do too. So I will put links in the description box down to every single one of these channels so that you guys can go in and watch them, and please be sure and subscribe to their channel when you get there, because once you start watching them, you're going to want to keep watching them. And I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Hopefully all these channels are going to inspire you guys as much as they've inspired us. Thanks for watching.